What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a alright day. There is a lot that we need to talk about, so let's do this. So like I said in the first part of the video, there was a lot that happened over this weekend. So this is part 2 of what happened along with that over the weekend. The first thing I want to talk about is Harry Potter. We all love Harry Potter. Some do, some don't. The books are wonderful to read and reread over and over again. The movies are phenomenal. The author of Harry Potter, J.K Rowling, however, let's just say, I think a Dementor got to her because I have no idea what in the world happened with her over this weekend, but some people, they probably know what happened with her. Basically, over the weekend, J.K Rowling came under fire by the LGBTQ community after she took aim on an article that referred to people who menstruate. And last month, this article that was on the DVX website posted an article entitled "Creating a More Equal Post-COVID-19 World for People Who Menstruate." So just to let everybody know, COVID-19 is still happening. Please be safe out there and wear a mask wherever you go. Okay, but it highlighted some of the risks faced by primary caretakers, particularly women in the household and healthcare workers during the COVID-19 crisis. Now, this article, it explored how women still need menstrual materials, safe access to towels, soap, water, so much more and everything else on the way during the lockdown and whatnot. Now, they were talking about an estimated 1.8 billion girls, women, and gender non-binary persons menstruate, and this has not stopped because of the pandemic, as said by its authors. Now, on Twitter, J.K. Rowling has 14.5 million followers, but after Saturday, who knows where that's at. But on Saturday, she tweeted with the article saying, "People who menstruate, I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out here. Woman? Woman? I don't know what you talking about." But when she posted that, she received so much backlash, y'all. Now, it was swift, but a lot of users called her out on being anti-transgender for people. One user actually said on Twitter that, "I decided not to kill myself because I wanted to know how Harry's story ends. For a long time, that was all that kept me alive. Until I met my husband, who helped me learn to love myself and want to live." And, what she did was she just insulted him to my face. And going over those tweets, you just look and go, wow, I can't believe she said that, but she did say that. And then GLAAD, which is a LGBTQ adversary organization, now they recommended Percy Jackson, which is also a good book to read, the movie, instead of Harry Potter, because Rick Riordan, who is the author of it, isn't transphobic. But J.K. Rowling, she kept going on and on about this whole thing along the way, and she ended up with saying, "I march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At some time, my life has shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so." Again, I feel like a Dementor got to her because she is now acting like Voldemort in this whole thing, and it is just, a lot happening with her. That child need Jesus. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts about it? If you did read it, what did you comment on it and everything else on the way? Now, a lot of people remember this, those born beforehand, but if you were born on this year and towards now, you don't know about this because you're about like 5 years old. But on September 1st, 2016, do y'all remember when a certain quarterback took a knee at a preseason game during the national anthem named Colin Kaepernick. Do you remember him? Well, in 2020, guess what happened?
It has been a difficult time for our country, in particular, Black people in our country. First, my condolences to the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the families who have endured police brutality. We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression of Black people. We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe Black lives matter. I personally protest with you and want to be part of the much needed change in this country. Without Black players, there would be no National Football League. And the protests around the country are emblematic of the centuries of silence, inequality, and oppression of Black players, coaches, fans, and staff. We are listening. I am listening. And I will be reaching out to players who have raised their voices and others on how we can improve and go forward for a better and more united NFL family.
Really? You say that in 2020. Now, again, just wow. But NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, he issued a video statement on Friday saying that we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier who were protesting police brutality. Now, this statement was after the nationwide protests over the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others, but also years of controversy when the NFL refused to support Colin Kaepernick and other players who knelt in protest over police brutality. So, yeah, it took you this long to realize that Colin Kaepernick was right. Now, in that whole video, Goodell did not mention Kaepernick at all, but he by name, but he did say that the NFL will encourage to speak out and peacefully protest. And he said that he will be reaching out to players who raise their voice. Now, Goodell's statement, it came after one day when New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees apologized for saying that we will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States. Yeah, Drew Brees is also an idiot. Just to let you guys know, for what he said, truly idiotic for him to say that on his part and everything else on the way. But, Brees issued an apology after receiving so much backlash from fellow players and fans for his original comments. But the apology sparked criticism from Trump. Yay, Trump. Do I like him? No. And with all of this being said, when the NFL comes back from the whole COVID-19 pandemic, running back Adrian Peterson, he said that he's ready to start kneeling when the NFL season starts in September. Now, let me ask all y'all this. Out of the 32 NFL teams, how many people of color own one? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't know the answer? Let me tell you. It's 2. And their names are Kim Pugola, who is the co-owner of the Buffalo Bills, and Shahid Khan, who is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, it took you this long, Roger Goodell, to understand what Colin Kaepernick was trying to tell you, and to the NFL as well. But no, y'all didn't listen. People out there getting mad at Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee. Oh, we should fire him. We should fire other players in who's doing this. And we should also fine him and everything along the way, because Trump is like, oh, this is disrespectful to the United States. Do you not see what is happening right now? In 2020, do you not see what is happening right now? Because I see everything right now. But again, Roger Goodell, you now say this. Let me tell you though, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Why don't you prove to us that, you are actually going to be reaching out to these players and everything. You can make all these donations, everything else from the way. How about that? And to everyone who thinks, otherwise, what are your thoughts about it? This last story I want to talk about, it's very beautiful and very inspirational as well. The DC mayor, Muriel Bowser, renamed a street in front of the White House Black Lives Matter Plaza and had the slogan painted on the asphalt in massive yellow letters on the street where, and her escalating dispute with Donald Trump over control of DC streets. And you can actually see this you can see this from space, and it's truly, truly beautiful. Now, city officials said that the actions on Friday were meant to honor demonstrators who are urging changes in law enforcement practices after the killing of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others as well. And that's what I do when I do these videos and everything along the way. But mostly because of George Floyd and unarmed man and the custody of Minneapolis police. Now, John Faluccio, the mayor's chief of staff, said that there was a dispute this week about whose street it is, and Mayor Bowser wanted to make make sure it was clear that it was to honor the peaceful demonstrators who assembled on Monday night. Now, this whole art piece took up 2 blocks from 16th Street Northwest between K and 8th Streets, an iconic promenade directly north of the White House. So basically, if you look at it from the aerial view and everything, you can see what it looks like. Now, local artist Rose Hafe said that she and others joined city workers to paint the giant slogan, and this happened before dawn. Shortly after 11 a.m., Bowser watched silently as a city worker hung a sign at the corner of 16th and 8th Street that said Black Lives Matter NW. So I would love to go to Washington. I would love to see that, just be there and take a photo and just bask in this glory. And onlookers, they cheered when this happened. And the song Rise Up by Andra Day played from the speakers. It is a beautiful song to listen to, by the way. It very, very motivational. Now, their group, Black Lives Matter DC, reacted to the street painting with criticism from the mayor, saying she should decrease the budget for the DC police and invest in the community. Now, Bowser's proposed budget was to increase funding for traditional policies while cutting spending on programs to reduce violence throughout the community-based intervention, kind of things. And the DC Council, they put in a lot of bills towards, a prohibition on using tear gas, required to disclose body cam footage and the name of the officer within 3 days of a deadly force incident. And, that didn't stop there with the street painting, In Minneapolis, they wrote down all the names that was killed on Chicago Avenue, so you saw George Floyd, you saw Breonna Taylor, you saw Ahmaud Arbery, you saw Trayvon Martin, you saw Eric Garner, you saw all these names on that street. And other places, I believe, in the U.S. and in the world are actually doing this as well. Like Andra Day's song, Rise Up, is saying, we have to rise up. We can't just back down without a fight, We need to let people know what is actually happening out here in this world. Because if we don't, then we just gonna be dealing with the same thing over and over and over again. I don't do these videos just for fun. No, I do these videos to make sure that people are watching these videos and actually getting, you know, the word in. Also, for the future generation, when they watch this, they know what happened during this time. I don't know what's to come. You know, I love doing this. I love getting the word out to people and making sure everybody knows. Will I have a job as working at BuzzFeed doing this, or, you know, working with Philip DeFranco, something like that? I don't know. But you know what I am doing? I'm actually getting the word out for people to know what is going on in today's society. We got racism going on. We have all this hatred going on. During these protests, people are getting killed out here. And some of it is not being told as much, but it is. It needs to be. So, for all of you guys out there watching, go out there and register to vote. Vote for someone who actually cares about what's going on, rather than a Cheeto in the White House that we have currently. Y'all remember how he wanted to build that wall? Well, he did build it. It's around the White House. Make sure your voice is being heard, people. And to all those who say, hey, you know, all lives matter, you know, blah, blah, blah. Trump isn't racist, blah, blah, blah. Like I said in one of my videos, there's a door. Because I'm not going to deal with your BS, okay? I have a voice, and I want to let my voice be heard, okay? But with that being said, what are you guys' thoughts about the whole thing with the Black Lives Matter street? Actually, matter of fact, there should be one in Austin, Texas, because a lot of shit happens out there. And a few other places as well. What are you guys' thoughts about the whole NFL apologizing? What are you guys' thoughts about, you know, J.K. Rowling and so much more? If you watch the first part of the video, it will be somewhere around here, or I'll just put the link down below. But what are you guys' thoughts about this, okay? I love all you guys so much, you know, making sure people know what is actually happening, okay? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Whenever you subscribe, hit that little bell so you know I have a new video out and everything else on the way. But with that being said, you guys be safe out there. Make sure you're wearing a mask. Don't do anything stupid, okay? Peace out. Black Lives Matter.